for coverage you can count on. It's the KFOX-14 Morning News.
Good morning. It is just before 7 o'clock. I'm Stephanie Guadian.
And I'm Shelton Dotson. It has been a rainy start to the day. Las Cruces has been hit really hard. At least 2.5 inches of rain falling since midnight there. Meteorologist Brad Montgomery with the first look at a very soggy forecast. Good morning, Brad.
That's right. Lots to talk about, lots on the radar right now. Taking a quick look outside from atop the Franklin's. The camera was in the clouds. See the cloud down low there? That's from the power plant down there in Sunland Park. 60 degrees right now at the top of the mountains. KFOX early warning storm track Doppler. A little subsidence in and around Las Cruces. That sinking air that's putting an end to your rainfall. But look south of the border. Still seeing plenty of heavier showers right now. We're going to watch those to see if they try to cross over the international border in the next hour or two. Zooming into El Paso right now. Rainfall letting up on the west side of town, but still lower valley, east side, and northeast seeing some light to moderate rain showers. At the airport, light rain, 66 degrees, north winds at 8 miles per hour. In Las Cruces, current temperature 64. Your winds west-southwest at about 3. The forecast for today, 40% chance of storms for today, 87 for a high, 50% chance for tonight. Same for you in Las Cruces, 40% chance during the day, high 85, going up to 50% chance for tonight. Flood watch in effect until Sunday morning. All those details plus following the radar coming up. Christiane?
All right, you heard the man. He said storms, which means roads are going to be slick, which means you should leave with time for delays and drive carefully out there, folks. I do want to let you know about a couple of crashes. The first one's over on Rosedale Street, right near Alameda Avenue. You can use North Loop as your alternate route. We have another accident over on westbound I-10. This is going to be right near the Sunland Park on-ramp. And just like I said, leave early. Be careful when you're driving. Allow yourself some room between you and the car in front of you. And of course, I will be here keeping an eye on all the roadways and updating you every 10 minutes. Shelton?
Great advice there. Thank you, Christiane. See you guys in 10 minutes. In the news this morning, 2 people are hospitalized, one of them in critical condition following a motorcycle wreck.
Yeah, that accident closed off northbound Loop 375. KFOX-14 Morning News reporter Clarissa Tapia first on the scene. She joins us live from far east El Paso. Clarissa.
Police tell me the driver lost control of the motorcycle, causing it to roll over while heading northbound on Loop 375. And special traffic investigators were called on the scene to help with the investigation. The accident happened around 11 last night at the Spur 601 exit. The motorcycle ended up on the outside shoulder of the road. Firefighters say a man and a woman were in the motorcycle. One was taken to UMC and the other to Del Sol Medical Center. Right now, I have not been told if it's the driver or the passenger who is in critical condition. The speed limit in that area is 65 miles per hour, and police tell me that speed was not a factor in this crash. Reporting live in far east El Paso, Clarissa Tapia, the KFOX-14 Morning News.
Clarissa, thank you. El Paso Water Utilities say that central El Paso is the biggest problem area when it comes to flooding. And that is according to El Paso Water Utilities. The vice president of operations says that area wasn't developed with flood control in mind. It is also the most densely populated and developed part of town. Right now, EPWU is building several retention ponds and pump stations. They've got 2 plans of action.
One is to pump the water away. The pump stations are designed to do just that, pick it up and pump it to the river. But the other one is, and frankly, the more sustainable one is to get as much retention ponding area as we can.
Projects are set to be completed within 2 years. Some people in Doña County, they are cleaning up after recent storms this morning. One resident's basement and yard flooded. His neighbor lost her home and was forced to evacuate. El Paso Water Utilities and Doña County have free sandbags available, but supplies are limited. There are 5 locations in El Paso where you can pick up sandbags and 16 volunteer fire stations in Doña County. You can find those locations on our website, and that is kfoxtv.com.
Now 3 minutes after 7 o'clock, and this morning a Las Cruces teenager has been issued a nationwide arrest warrant which accuses him of voyeurism. Doña County Sheriff's deputies say 17-year-old Julio Barrera failed to comply with the conditions of his juvenile probation. He's now accused of spying on a 14-year-old family member who was in the shower at the time. The warrant was issued when he didn't show up for a meeting with his probation officers. And if you have any information on him, you are asked to call the Doña County Sheriff's Office. Their number on your screen, 575-525-8806. Meanwhile, an El Paso man could spend the next 5 years in federal prison for aiming a laser pointer at a DPS helicopter. 28-year-old Don Dorsett was found guilty this week of breaking federal law by shining a laser onto an aircraft back in January of this year. He's going to be sentenced sometime in October. According to the FBI, there were nearly 4,000 of these laser strikes reported across the country last year. That averages out to almost 11 each and every day.
Someone is making threatening phone calls to local doctors trying to extort money. KFOX-14 was able to get a hold of a letter warning doctors. Calls threaten to kill, kidnap, or sell the doctor's children if they don't pay up. Now, the callers have reportedly used a child screaming in the background. Doctors in other border communities in Texas have also received those same types of calls. El Paso police are investigating at least one case where no kidnapping actually occurred. Las Cruces police say 4 doctors there have been targeted. Right now, victims are being asked to call 911.
There has never been a known case of Ebola on U.S. soil, but later on today, that will change. 2
infected Americans are back to the U.S. from Liberia for treatment. KFOX-14 social media anchor Melissa Gunderson live at the social news desk with a story that tops the trending list this morning. Melissa?
Well, reading through what people have to say about this news, many people are shocked and concerned. The CDC has retrofitted a long-range business jet with medical equipment, including an isolation pod, and was sent to Liberia. That jet coming back to the United States carrying 2 infected Americans, an aid worker and a doctor. The 2 were said to be in stable condition, but actions must be taken now to assure that they stay that way. People blasted Twitter asking questions about the deadly virus. So here's some information for you. At an advanced stage, the Ebola virus can cause internal and external bleeding with symptoms including fever, headaches, and vomiting. According to the World Health Organization, Ebola has infected more than 1,300 people in West Africa since March. More than 55% of those cases have been deadly. With such a high death rate now, the CDC has issued a level 3 travel warning for Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. With travel warnings in place, this is one reason people are taking to social media websites this morning, posting very opinionated comments about the news. People are mainly wondering why these 2 infected Americans are allowed to come back to their homeland where the virus has not been detected, even though the 2 will automatically go to an Atlanta hospitals where they will be isolated from everyone else. It's clear many people are still concerned.
The government does not have the capacity anymore to deal with this outbreak. So we need the help of the international community.
These patients need to be in isolation, and that isolation needs to be pristine. Everything from the way that the air circulates in the room, the way that people are allowed to enter into the room.
As of right now, there is no known cure for Ebola. While there is an experimental vaccine in the works, testing isn't expected to start until September. Guys?
All right, Melissa, thank you. Straight ahead, helping undocumented minors who are crossing the Texas-Mexico border illegally.
We are distressed by the cries of the young mothers, children, and adolescents.
The steps a group of religious leaders is taking to help those children. Brett?
And a flash flood watch in effect. Details on that in just a bit. A live look outside. A cool shot for you here. You see the clouds in front of the cam. This is from the top of Franklin Mountains. And you see also in the distance there, left side of the screen, a cloud stuck on the north side of Mount Cristo Rey. We're going to talk about how long this flash flood watch will be in effect, how many days. On the KFOX-14 Morning News, coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your traffic on this first day of August. Couple of things to let you know about. First off, we do still have a crash over on westbound I-10. This is going to be right near Sunland Park exit. And then we have the crash did clear over on Alameda Avenue and Rosedale Street, so you are good to go in that area. Other than that, everything else is looking pretty good. Roads are slick, so you are going to want to leave with some time for delays. Allow yourself some room between you and the car in front of you. Just be cautious when you're traveling out there. US 54 looking pretty good. Loop 375, same story there. Of course, I will be keeping an eye, and I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Brad?
All right, a live look outside from atop the Franklin Mountains. You see some of the lower stratus clouds. If I can get that out there as some of the moisture starts to evaporate. Also some of the higher clouds. KFOX early warning storm track Doppler, though, as we get right to it. Flash flood watch has been extended all the way through Sunday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Take a look at the radar. A lot going on. Now, we do have some subsidence and a northerly flow. Notice the rain kind of thinning out in Las Cruces. Heavier rain down to the south. With that northerly flow, it may try to keep these little areas of rotation or circulation down south of the border. But we're going to watch and see if that one can get into El Paso. If it can, we'll see some heavier rainfall. As I mentioned, that northerly flow may suppress those and keep them just down to our south. Zooming into Las Cruces again, subsidence in the atmosphere, sinking air, kind of allowing that rainfall to really thin out and kind of end there on the north side of town. Maybe a couple light sprinkles down toward NMSU. That's going to be about it. Still seeing some light to moderate rain showers in northeast El Paso, east El Paso, as well as the lower valley, Socorro and Fabens too. The west side starting to dry out though, but again, we're watching that area down off to our south and west. As far as what we saw overnight, some areas of west central and southwestern Otero County, up to 2.5 inches of rainfall. Parts of Doña Ana County, too, in and around Las Cruces. You had a really good thunderstorm build in from the north and west. About 2.5 inches of rain on the south side of town, almost 2 inches of rain on the north side of town. And then El Paso, we haven't had quite a bit. That's way in the much of activity as they had off to our north and off to our north and west. But still, once you get down up toward Anthony, about 0.2 of an inch of rainfall there. As far as what we had at the airport, 0.04, only taking us to 1.34 for the year. So at the airport, kind of getting missed. We have several days to make that up. Temperatures out there into the 60s this morning, dew points into the 60s as well. Lots of humidity, lots of moisture to work with. So rain chances are up for your Friday and Saturday. 40% chance for today, 50% tonight and tomorrow. For you in Las Cruces, same story here. The good news is with the cloud cover and the rainfall, temperatures being held down into the 80s, but we have that threat for heavy rainfall with us today, tomorrow, and also for your Sunday.
Thanks, guys. Nutritionists say yogurt is essential for a healthy diet.
Some companies actually add whey back, and that's a very valuable protein.
How to pick the best yogurt for you. Plus, the reason a group of immigrants had to postpone their hearing in front of an immigration judge more than once. Next on the KFOX 14 Morning News.